I told my boyfriend that I didn't want to have a threesome and now I think he might break up with me for someone more intimately experimental. My boyfriend is desperate to have a threesome but it's not my vibe. I have never been one for open relationships or polyamory. If that gets you going, great, but the idea has always made me feel anxious. When my boyfriend and I got together, I remember discussing our beliefs and values. We spoke about threesomes and we agreed that if we were to enter a relationship, neither of us would expect or ask the other person to partake in or arrange a threesome. So when he brought this topic up last week, I instantly became annoyed because he had gone through each other's boundaries during intimacy and established a safe space to experiment in. I see no shame in wanting to have a threesome, but it was not on the cards for us and I made that clear at the time. I am so frustrated because during our discussion he agreed with me, but now I suspect that he was lying and I just don't understand why he chose to be inauthentic if that is something he needs to experience. I asked him why he wanted to involve a third party. To my mind, it suggests boredom or that perhaps he doesn't find me attractive enough, or maybe he is just free-spirited sexually and that it might be a one-off bucket list situation. He asked me if I would be open to reconsidering for one time, just to see what it was like. I want to make him happy, and he said it would mean a lot to him if I were to consider it. A great tactic from him, but the idea of compromising on a boundary that explicitly told him feels wrong and uncomfortable. Worse still, when I asked him about the type of person he'd be interested in, he outlined a different kind of woman to me. Am I even his type? I am short, brunette and curvy. He outlined tall, blonde and thin, so the total opposite. Historically, he has gone for a variety of women, so maybe this is a type he hasn't tried? I can't work out why this bothered me so much, and that maybe if he hypothetically chose someone resembling me I'd feel less insecure. Then again, why would I want to have intimacy with someone who looked like me? Gross. Perhaps sleeping with the complete opposite would entice me. We had a fight about this recently. He accused me of failing to meet his needs and that I am inherently selfish. We both contribute a lot to our relationship, so I don't think that calling me selfish because I won't let him watch me F a woman is just bad behavior. Plus, he never asked me which gender I would prefer, and it's not like we have two choices anymore. There are so many categories now and nuisance to consider. He knows that as a straight woman, I'd be more likely to choose a man or at least a person with a very masculine aesthetic, just as I knew he would choose someone more typically feminine. So even though I'd be compromising on the act, he'd refuse to meet me halfway. I told him that until I improve my relationship with my body, I am going to struggle with the idea of having a threesome. He knows I don't want to do it, and now I'm worried that he is going to break up with me for someone more experimental. What should I do?